Don't blink, it's your buying. This video of the day. I'm doing well because I'm having a wonderful day on this very late start of this 29th March 2025. We are playing the tower, which is why you're going to be seeing me look at here a lot. This is a new playthrough. Again, playthrough number 4, playthrough number 1 on your left, playthrough number 3 on your extreme left, and playthrough number 4. No. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I'm sitting on the left and you're seeing me on the right. But then when you're watching something, this is the left, right? But for you, it's the right because I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know what I'm talking about. Let's get into the topic. I got a busy day today because we don't have a lot of time before we finish recapping Prison Break. So we're going to be focusing on that. However, I got a couple of original videos to do. And today's video is about growing up with cable. I've been very cherished lately, very cherished lately. We were watching Lost. We watched Prison Break, leftover from the ramen yesterday. We're watching Prison Break, Lost, leaving soon to be B99, which is still a cable television. And I want to take you back into why those years were so special. I had a friend who's my age, and I'm like, oh, they don't do show like that anymore. And of course, there's the argument of, well, every single show right now has an agenda. Every single show right now serves a purpose. They're trying to send a message. They're trying to raise culture awareness. They're PC. It's very hard. And of course, that plays in the thing. That is a part of why. This is a part of why. This is a part of why. This is a part of why TV used to be special and isn't anymore. Now, let's analyze why, because I think it's important. The why it's different is as important, in my opinion, as the things happening right now. Back then, cable TV was very important. So the first thing I want to talk about is why was it so important, and it's sadly something called market share. So everybody had. Bon matin. Ça va bien? Good. My neighbor. What was I saying? Oh yeah, market share. So back in the days, we all had channels, right? And you could choose which channel that you watch. Now, if you were ADHD, like my family, because of course I carried a gene from someone, hereditary. Again, looking here, I'm sorry guys, I'm sorry. But priorities, right? Please, the last 10 years, that last 20 minutes. Priorities. You would zap to the channel, but most people were too lazy, which is a great thing because that's exactly what the television guy behind it was planning to do, right? So they wanted you to stay on the same channel because you would watch the same ads. Ads revenue for companies would be the channel. This channel ads got this many views. This channel is having a big part of the market. The bigger company wants to do ads with this company. You're right. Now. Also, the reason why the cable company was so important is you had to sit through a show. You couldn't pause it. You couldn't say, "Hey, I have to go to the bathroom at the toilet. At the break, I have to go to the bathroom." It was very special. It was very special. You didn't want to miss anything. I don't want to close my eyes. I might miss the cliffhanger for next week, baby. Oh, how John Locke is passed away. Or maybe I'm watching Prison Break, and Michael Scofield and Bellick will fight like Brody. And I don't wanna miss it, babe. Even the show, even when it sucked, even when the episode sucked, because of course it was like, so that sucked, they would get you with the cliffhanger. I'm going to be watching this show. This week sucked. I don't know what show next week. And you know what? I'm not willing to wait a whole week. What I'm going to do, I'm going to be watching, dude, with all eyes. I'm going to be watching what? Very good question. Very good question. I am going to be watching 45 minutes of an episode so I can see the cliffhanger for next week. And it was beautiful. Our lives in Canada, mostly Canada because I'm Canadian, possibly USA because the culture is somewhat similar, Our life depended on one book. Our evening, our downtime, depending on one book. The most important book of them all. If you see the Bible, you're close. If you see the Quran, you're close. If you see the Torah, you're close. The book I'm talking about is the TV guide. You're right. What is going on tonight? I had a shitty day at a job that I don't like. I am going to be going to work tomorrow, the day after. The whole week, my whole respite is TV. And the TV guide will be my guide, my shepherd, as a lost lamb in this life of misery. So that's what she would do, right? And then shows, they had a very capitalistic aspect to it. The plan of the show is to make money. The plan of the movie is to make money. The plan of the album is to make money. You know what's insane? It's not talking about movie anymore. It's talking about music. Back in the days, people will release album, okay? How much do you think it costs to produce a song? How much do you think it costs to produce an album? Right? A lot more, right? So your album have to have sales that are higher than the cost of the album. Why? Why? Otherwise you're not profitable. And this company or the production company will let you go. I wanna let. That's not the song, but hey. So with a show costing a lot more, season being cancelled, show was being cancelled after the last episode. You know what's insane? Back in the days, we used to have pilot episode. A pilot episode would be something. Hey, did it work or not? If it didn't work, the show didn't exist. A movie like The Room, which is a cultural classic by how bad it is and how awkward it is now hailed as a perfect disaster piece. A perfect disaster piece, right? Now, I'm going to tell you a secret. Right? I'm going to tell you a huge secret. A disaster piece was even more entertaining than a perfect piece. Why? Close your eyes, think about it. How many great movies are out there? Cool. Okay. Now take this ID and just keep it in your pocket for a second. How many disaster pieces are there? Imagine on cable TV when an episode was a mess, right? When an episode was a mess. I just watched a lot of South Park yesterday, and they were talking about how Family Guy did show the Prophet Muhammad, and it was kind of cool because the Fox was like, "Yo, we're gonna be showing this guy. We're gonna be showing this guy. We're gonna be showing this guy." They announced showing this guy weeks in advance. That way, you watch a specific episode, right? There's just no way. Look at a show like Simpsons. I love The Simpsons. I love them dearly. But could they last 30 years in this environment? No, they couldn't. So you had a business aspect to it. And when it comes to business aspect to it, there's money involved. Money runs the world, sadly, but it runs the world. Now, what is the difference between the cable TV and right now? First of all, with the binge watching, we don't have to wait. So we don't appreciate as much. Second of all, with the binge watching, there's no sense of suspense. There's no sense of, oh my God, I cannot wait for this week. See, this is the plan. This is the plot to disarm the bomb. A song by Eddie to Remember. It's Monday morning. I got a lot of energy in me thanks to the energy drink, the 4 liters. But what we would do is, episode lasts, and everybody at work the next day would talk about it. Hey, guess what? If there was a good show, the boss knew that people were not going to work as hard. There was a show last week, it was so good. And people would talk about it until the next week. People that didn't watch the show kept hearing about the show, and that's why they started watching the show. Now, you don't have this anymore. You don't have this, you know why? Because nobody cares. People will tell you, hey, I should watch Netflix series. Yeah, I watched the whole thing yesterday. There's no suspense, because you know why? People move on. Right? Squid Game, season 3. I reviewed it when it was kind of new, right? And I'm a slow content creator, as you can see. By the time I was finished, nobody cared about it anymore. People who talks about Squid Game season 3. How long have we waited for Squid Game season 2? How long have we waited for season 3? You know? Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Nobody freaking cares. And that sucks. That sucks. Like something like One Piece could not exist in this day and age. Something like Naruto could not exist in this day and age. Bleach could not exist in this day and age, right? And now the problem also with the TV, with the binge ball, is they're trying to teach you something. There's values. There's something. We're trying to recapture the essence of what it was before. We're trying to recapture the golden age of TV. Things like Walking Dead, Game of Thrones, Breaking Bad, Prison Break, Lost. But most of all, this golden era. A lot of people, myself included, will call this the golden era. Why? Because on the TV you can watch 3 shows: AMC Breaking Bad, AMC Prison, Walking Dead, and HBO Game of Thrones. 3 of the biggest show in television running at the same time. You had 3 days a week where you had an amazing show. You know what they call it the golden age? Because this was, and people knew it, this was the last hooray of cable TV. This was the last hooray. As that, nobody would give a shit about cable TV. Right? So now, since streaming services know that they're not going to make as much as cable TV, there's 2 things. An agenda, right? To teach you something, to make you believe something. Believe what? This is how you should act. This is how you should act. Consumerism. I wanna take a lot of time. I wanna put a lot of weight on what I just said. Consumerism. You know why? Consumerism is different than what? Capitalism, right? Capitalism is selling, making a profit, making money, the American dream. Consumerism is consuming a product. Doesn't matter if we're too broke for it, we consume. Now, why is this difference important? Because it is important. Well, I'm glad that you asked this question. Consumerism is you always need to watch TV. You always need to do that. You're busy, but you always need to see that. You know why? Because people are talking about it on social media. Social media wasn't there when cable TV was there. You were watching a show, you were focused. You weren't on your phone. I was, because I was playing games, but that's a different story, right? Consumerism, capitalism are completely different beasts, right? And the consumerism, there's a problem with that. They don't care who consumes as long as you consume. This is the problem behind alcoholism. This is the problem behind gambling. This is the problem behind over-counter drugs. This is the problem with a lot of things. Why? Because they're doing a business on you consuming. They're willing. A casino, and again, I'm not saying this, I'm not slandering casino, I'm just saying. Some casino, what they would do, this is the craziest part. A casino, right, is based on what? On making money, right? Can we agree on that? I am very excited, that's why I do like that today. It's something that's passionate to me. That's something that's passionate to me. A casino will offer you free alcohol. Free alcohol. You know why? They make more money than what the alcohol costs. A casino will not have a clock in his house, in his establishment. There's no clock. You know why? Because the more time you spend, the more money you spend. McDonald's was the worst for that. So what they did was McDonald's was a genius machine. If you watch the founder, you can tell that it was a genius machine. So McDonald's did studies on their customer and said, well, the longer a customer spends in the restaurant, the more likely he is to consume again. So there was the early McDonald's. Early McDonald's were all about fast food. You're in and out. Then in the 90s, in the early 2000s, McDonald's did something. They started putting fireplace in the McDonald's. If you're old enough, you remember fireplace in the McDonald's. You remember very comfy chair. You remember music. They used to put music. They wanted you to stay. Why? So you would consume again. A repeated customer is better than a new customer, because a repeated customer will come back. Because he's comfy. He's comfy there. Now what did McDonald's do? They realized that this is not a good plan. Because the guy who stay 15 minutes in the restaurant, yes, will leave, but he just spends 15. And if you have a customer for every 50 minutes, that's 4 customers per hour. McDonald's run 24 hours, which is 92. No, 96. 96 customer per day for one table, for one spot. Got 3 cashier. That means you're serving 98, 294 customer per day. More. 294 customer are better than 13 customers that are staying the whole day. Starbucks did what? Put Wi-Fi in their restaurant. Starbucks was one of the first to do it. Why? Consumerism. I have nothing to eat. I'm bored. I'm working. I'm bored. Let's have no coffee. Let's have a pastry. What they did. Consumerism. You watching. See, a streaming platform, and now this is the war between the streaming platform, right? The streaming platform was so freaking important for a couple of reasons. They want you to stay on the streaming platform. They know that if they have the best show, you'll spend one. You're able to have maybe 2 or 3 streaming platforms, but there's 20, 30 out there. So they want you to have this one, right? There used to be something called Fairnet. Trailer Park Boys, one of my favorite shows. You know how much I care about Trailer Park Boys. They used to have something called Fairnet, which was a whole company. They changed the name. Trailer Park Boy Plus. Why? Now, for them it's okay. You know why? For them it's okay. For them it's completely okay. Why? Well, first of all, okay. So this is very different. This is a passion project. This is people that I love. Mike Smith, Rob Wells, and Jean-Paul Tremblay. They're guys that I love. They're people I look up to. Trailer Park Boys, the watcher that I never stop watching. They're old as fuck. They're 60 something. Yeah. 60 something. 50 minimum, high 50s. I would say minimum 57, 58. But they've been doing this since 2002. They've been doing this for 23 years, right? They want to be retired. And people love Trailer Park Boys so much. What they did is they had a whole network where there was a different show. They're saying like, you know, these shows are not really working. People are just caring about Trailer Park Boys. So what they did is they focused on Trailer Park Boys. What they did was they said, you know what? This is how we do it. This is what's gonna happen, and this is how it's gonna happen. And now they did Trailer Park Boys like Plus. They're just gonna focus on one show. So this is semi-retirement. You know? And that's pretty good. I like that. But back to what we're saying. Consumerism is a problem. Because you're willing to put anything, to do anything for people to stay. Right? My father told me something stupid. Amazon Prime. Mr. Bezos. You know what he did? For you guys to have Amazon Prime, he had a streaming platform. He's like, yeah, you're gonna be able to watch shows on my platform. And if you have an Amazon Prime, you're able to watch anything and everything that you want. It doesn't matter what you do, you'll be able to watch something. So we're playing in the background, we're playing the tower, and we're doing really well. 50, baby. 50. That is a lot less. 12 minutes. Damn. Yeah. That's actually pretty good. Today we're gonna get the times 3 speed. So that's good. Like, I want you guys to have it on Prime. I'll put a streaming services. Do you know what they did? You know what they did? They put ads in their thing. So it's not really a service rendered. It's a streaming services with ads. It makes money with the ads. Amazon Prime. You can pay more for Amazon Prime Extra that have ads. YouTube did the same thing, right? However, YouTube is a better thing than Spotify. YouTube remunerate their content creator a lot more. I watched something called, I know it's really good, Shark Tank yesterday. Shark Tank season 1. It was really good. And with Shark Tank, they're saying like, yo, I had a short that had 2 million views and I made $40. Right? So the correct remuneration is up for debates. But let's be honest here. Let's be freaking honest. Let's be freaking honest here. We're never gonna get it back. We're never gonna get back. I did a video for Elsa, and she's super nice. She's super, super nice. And she was saying, I love Prison Break. And we were talking about Prison Break, but she grew up, she's completely different because she was born in the UK. She's British. But we're the same age. She's 31, I'm 22. She grew up with Charms. I'm talking about Charms. So you talk about Lost and Prison Break. And it broke my heart. It really broke my heart. Because like, oh, I love those shows. And I'm like, yeah, we're never going to get that again. And the reason why it broke my heart is because nobody cares. You know? You see a rise and Lost. The reason why we did Lost was because of the TikTok edits. The reason why we did Prison Break is because of the TikTok edits. They're on Netflix, so a lot of people do edits from the show. But it doesn't matter. Because when those shows are not going to be on Netflix, who's going to talk about it? Who are going to talk about it? And the answer is no one. The reprise of Diane Media, right? Why did it break my heart? Well, because those shows meant something. Those shows were moments of family time. Those shows where I don't like spending time with my parents. I'd rather be with my friends on the phone. But guess what? There's one TV in the house. And because there's one TV in the house, I want to watch my show. And thank God my parents want to watch the same show. So we're watching it as a family. This is what it is. This is what it is. Talking about The Simpsons. The intro always finishes the same way. They're on the couch together watching TV. Right? Yeah, that's simply it. And it's simply it. And it's a mess because you'll never see that again. But those shows influence family. Those shows were multi-million dollars avenues. Those shows lasted for 10 years. The Office lasted for 10 years. Brooklyn Nine-Nine lasted for 10 years. Parks and Rec lasted for a little bit less, but still. Big Brother's been going on for how long? You know? They're multi-million dollars enterprise. They touch families and families. And we forget about them. And just like us, human being, just like us, consumer, you're lucky if your family think about you. You're lucky if your friends think about you. But when you're dead, if you don't have kids, I'm gonna think about you. You know? Then even then, there's no hope for you. Because even if you're an amazing person, right? Your son's gonna remember you. Your daughter's gonna remember you. Your grandkids are gonna remember you, right? Your grandkids. The kids of your grandkids will not know you, will not know about you. And that is fine. Nothing is meant to be eternal. But something are just meant to mean more. And that is something that I am gonna be missing. You know what we're losing? We're losing The Good Place and we're losing Brooklyn Nine-Nine this month on Netflix. Yeah. Isn't that insane? Isn't that insane? Can't get over the fact that we're losing so many shows at the same time. It's a shame. Anyway, I love you guys. Take it easy. Peace.